What's up?
You know, cat in the hat chilling.
Mm-hmm. You're the moderator, Scott.
No way.
You're the lead guy.
Really?
No, you're not the moderator. You're just in charge of the podcast.
Oh, I knew that, you son of a gun. Okay. Welcome to Eat.Game.Sleep, FatBearGaming's gaming podcast.
Woohoo!
I'm Scott.
I'm Kay.
I'm Andrew.
And here we are. So what have you guys been playing lately?
Well, my last off week, because I work, an on week, on 1 week, off 1 week. My last off week, I finally pulled the trigger and bought Grand Theft Auto 5, and I've been killing biddies for days. I've been playing it a lot. I haven't really gotten into the online much, which is what all my friends are like, that's what you need to play. But it's just because I'm enjoying the story. It's a really good story.
It's true. The online's fun, yeah, but the single player is where I make my home. I'm like, I like this all by myself. Just gonna destroy
No
the
one
world.
messing with my stuff. The
Exactly.
thing I hate is that money flow is kind of crappy in the beginning.
Oh, for sure.
It's so bad.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
On
You're
the
like,
online
That
too,
deters me.
it will just you'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna do this thing real quick, and someone's like, run you over with my Ferrari, and you're like, no.
What's really bad is now that I'm driving around, I'll see nice cars, I'll see a Camaro or something, and I'll be like, all right, I should get out of my car and steal it. Wait, this is real life. I can't do that. I've probably been playing in first person too much. That's the problem.
Oh, have
goodness.
you been playing it all in first person?
No, I'll switch into it, and then I'll be like, this is terrible, and then I'll go back to third person.
Yeah, I would imagine the mechanics in that game would not bode well.
Yeah, the mechanics are okay. Like when you pay them well, they fix your car, but other than that, they're kind of mean.
The more I thought about it, the funnier it got.
That's good.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
I don't see the drum set. That was a quick one.
Yeah. Anyways, Kay, what have you been playing?
Well, besides my awesome Patriots franchise of Madden, been playing.
But that's really hard to win with.
Yeah, I like to go for the underdogs. I've been playing a lot of Diablo with my brother because, I have 6 level 70s, and he's like, help me beat Diablo. And I'm like, all right.
No big deal.
And that's those are the only 2 games we have that we both own. So
Diablo and what was the other one?
Madden.
Oh, gotcha.
I tried to get into Far Cry 4. I didn't care for it.
That's why you're going to mail it to me.
Tried getting into Infamous again with the DLC, and didn't like it.
The First Light?
Did not like it at all.
Did not like
It's
Infamous
it's
Second
better
Life.
than the base game, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because you get the neon powers right away, and those are the best powers.
Fact.
I don't know about that.
But, oh yeah. They're the most fun.
They are.
I've
Yeah,
only
run
gotten
fast.
into story mode to the neon powers, so I don't know what comes next.
The video powers is what comes next, which I'm like, this is a really weird, ambiguous power. But they're good. It's just they drain your energy so fast, and they're really hard to find things to get energy from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's a love-hate thing where the neon is just better to travel the city with. So
Yeah, didn't like it. I felt like there wasn't much story, and there was the amount of story to bad guys in that game doesn't compute for me.
Yeah.
It's not like The Last of Us where there's a good pacing to gameplay and cutscenes. It's there's a 30-second cutscene, and then you're off forever doing your own thing. I know they're different games, one's linear and one's open world, but by the time I got back to a story mission, I was like, what's happening? I didn't
also,
like it.
with me in that game, there's just so many enemies if you don't clean up the different sections.
Yeah.
That traveling across the city without cleaning up the enemies is the most annoying thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I just grinded every time I opened a new area and like killed everyone. I was like,
Right.
hallelujah, and then would travel freely. But it was so annoying.
Yeah. It's not like a Grand Theft Auto where none of your movement is impeded.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's like there's so many things you have to stop and collect and get and fight, and it's not me.
I get that. I get that.
So weird and
Recently,
progressive open world.
yeah, recently I've been playing Valkyrie Chronicles,
Oh.
which is a PS3 port, and I got it back in the day, like when it was like $60, and I kind of bought it on a whim. Actually, I was just like, "This looks neat," and I bought it. I knew nothing about it, and I got it, and I was like, "This is awesome." And then I sold my PS3 like last year, and halfway through my like life cycle with that, anyways, I lost. No, let a friend borrow Valkyrie Chronicles, and I never saw it again. It was very sad.
How
I never,
rude.
yeah, I know, and I never ended up beating it. So when I saw Steam got the port, I was like, yes, yes, and so I bought it. I've been playing that lately. I've also been playing a lot of the choice of games. Like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
yeah, like there's choice of robots, and then there's like choice of a bunch of different things, and some of them have their own name. Like there's Mecha Ace and like Sci High, but they're all made by Choice of Studios, and or like production or whatever, and they're great. They're basically like choose your own adventure books, but they're pretty awesome.
I'm looking at it now on Steam. This looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played Choice of the Dragon, and it's awesome.
Yeah, which is like their first game they like ever made.
I know.
Yeah, and they have a lot of games on like handheld devices. From what I hear, they usually port their best games to Steam. But I know right now they don't have. Some people are saying some of their best games are still only on like the handheld devices. So, but Choice of Robots so far is my favorite, and it's great.
Oh, shocker. Robot King over here.
Okay, they also had Mecha Ace, which
Oh,
plays
that's true. That
Thank
is
you.
True.
which could
You're
have
welcome.
beat, if we're talking about like things I like, it definitely could have beat it just on that. But legitimately, Choice of Robots was.
I think you're bigger
favorite.
into like love story robots though than you are even. Into
I didn't
mechas.
have a love thing with my robot.
Really? Oh, it's like your daughter.
Yeah, it was like a father. Well, 'cause
That
I
would
was-
have been kind of weird.
No,
Sexy
I was
daughter.
like I was its creator. So it was
Sexy
like
robot daughter.
no, I mean maybe I don't know. I
Let's go to
didn't.
Robot Arkansas.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like it's actually your daughter. It's not like it's actually incest if you had sex with your robot daughter.
Well,
Okay,
it's
that's-
To me, that's like
What if
not.
you guys use the same oil.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But it was very it's very parental and it was great. I actually ended up getting a human wife, thank you, in it,
What?
Oh.
That
But I
woman
did-
was deluded.
and I also replaced part of my brain. Spoiler alert, by the way. I also replaced part of my brain with robot parts because I had a disease, and they're like, you can either let it kill you, we can try like a weird transplant thing, or we can replace it with robot parts. And I was like, robot parts, and it was pretty
Always.
awesome. And yeah, it was awesome. That's a fun game though. That's pretty much it. I did play the Beyond Earth when it was free, like last weekend.
Oh, I did also just play Tales of the Borderlands, the first episode.
Oh, how was that?
Good. It is so good, surprisingly.
Yeah,
good.
it's not that I had low expectations, but it's better than I even thought it was going to be.
Well, okay, is it like the Walking Dead episodes and stuff
It's
like
very
that?
funny. It's like
No,
very
it's
Of course
lighthearted.
it's hilarious, but it's
And
like
goofy.
the same playstyle.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Yeah. Same play style, and it's
there's
hilarious.
some new mechanics,
Okay.
but
Like,
they're
Is
very
it a
small.
shooter?
No.
No,
Not
no,
really.
you never shoot, but
It's fully story.
yeah, but you do have a couple things that you don't have in any other Telltale games. Like you have this eye, and when you're observing things, you can at any time you can switch on your eye and scan it and get a bunch of information on it.
Just like that.
Yeah,
Like what I just did. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean it's not really any.
My eye.
It's not really much different than like in other games where you just physically walked up and looked at it, but you can like scan and get a whole like background report and stuff, and they're really funny, most of them.
And I would
So-
say the game itself is funnier than any of the other Borderlands or anything like that.
Oh yeah,
It's-
it's hilarious.
It really, it is. Just
That's one of my favorite things. I'm gonna have to pick that junk up. I'm gonna put it on my
Yeah,
wish
it's
list.
great. Yeah, I also played that. Anyways, so
Dude.
let's get into our top 5 games of 2014. Now, this list is personal preference, not necessarily like best made. It's like personal enjoyment, and it is also games you've played. So there might be some great games that we'll end up loving, but haven't played yet.
Gotcha.
So, Andrew, how about you start us out?
There was a lot of good stuff, especially whenever I researched and remembered what I played. Well, I'm not going to start with my favorites. Just because we just talked about it, the amount that I played the Borderlands pre-sequel, I loved it. I need to get back into it, honestly. It was different. Like, it was hard to get used to some of the mechanics and stuff, like the low gravity and things like that. And it was a little, but they did really try to put some substance into that stuff, and it was enjoyable to kind of get that story from in between. And the DLC they've continued to release has been fantastic.
Was that PC day one? The pre-sequel?
I
Or something?
believe so, yes.
Wow.
Because I'm pretty sure I bought it and preloaded it,
Oh, okay.
and then popped that bit in as soon as
God, I love
could.
that preload.
Yeah, it's so nice. Preload is bomb diggity. But I mean, that was a ton of fun. When I first got it, I shut myself. I was on my off week, and I came home, and I played a bunch on one day, and then Saturday morning, I went into my room, closed my door, and didn't come out until Sunday night, and just played it basically the entire time, and took breaks for snacks. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, living the dream right there.
What you know what? You know what's interesting about Tales of the Borderlands is that the art style of Telltale is like so eerily similar to the art style of the Borderlands. It's hard to tell if they even changed much, or if
Yeah.
they just like took it straight out of the game.
It's true.
And it's funny because I hate playing Borderlands in that art style because it's so confusing. But then I love it in Telltale games.
Confusing.
Yeah,
Like
it's just
harder
disorienting
see
to me.
things in the. Well, I agree with him. For me, it's harder to see things like in the distance.
Yeah,
Like I'll be like, run, run, run! Oh, where'd that enemy come from?
I feel like I have no depth perception whatsoever
Oh.
when I play Borderlands.
Yeah.
I'm just
Well,
like,
and
That's what you get with a cartoon, two-dimensional art style.
well, it's
Yeah.
true. Well, and Kay and I are the only ones I know with this like complaint. So maybe we just have wonky eyes. But
yeah,
like,
I guess.
Well, all three of us do wear glasses. I just
Yeah.
have realized
And
from my
have
early
beards.
years that I'll never see things correctly. So I just decided that everything's a hallucination.
my whole life's a lie, basically. So
Yeah,
Why is there a bear in my room?
guys,
bear.
my wife is so hot, and I was like,
Oh, it's a fat bear. Oh, it's a sign.
what's your next game?
Me? No, okay.
yeah, I'll go.
Ooh,
Okay,
I'm dropping this bit.
if I'm gonna be honest on like a game that I played in terms of hours the most this year, I don't know if it'd be number one, but it'd definitely be like top 2 or 3. Ironically, it's called Threes, and it's a mobile game on my phone, and it's so addicting, and me and my wife like have this constant competition to like who can get a higher and higher score, and it's crazy like the scores that we both were proud of at first, because now we're like 100 times past that, but we go like back and forth on that, and I play that game so much. It's a lot like
Is it this game?
is it called Threes? Yes, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try. Oh, it's $2.
Oh, it's free on Android, or at least I got it free on Android. Maybe I
I'm
had
on
it for like a
Android.
promotion.
What is this?
Oh, maybe
it
it
got
was like a
popular, and then
promotion.
they were like $2 now.
No, now that I think of it, I think it was like one of the Amazon's free apps of the day or something like that.
Oh.
But yeah, it's really awesome. It's like 2048, or 2048,
Yeah.
whatever you call that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I enjoyed that for a while. I never beat it because I just didn't care enough.
Yeah, but threes is like, you just compete for the highest score, and basically you combine threes to get multiples of threes, and it's really, really easy to learn, but hard to master. Kind of one of those games.
Yeah.
I got you.
2048 is actually funny for me because like a lot of people on my floor got it, and so I got it, and I was one of the top like 2 or 3 on my floor to get 2048. But like for me, I was like, all right, have to get 2048, have to get 2048, and I got it, and I was like, all right, I'll keep going until I lose, and then I lost at whatever, and I was like, all right, I got it, done. I was like done with the app, and then people were like, so like, what's your top score? I was like, the game's 2048. Why do I care about past that? I got 2048, so I beat the game, so it's over. And everyone's like, no, you have to try to get your high score. I was like, 2048's the name of the game, okay? Let's not try to push our
that's why I
boundaries.
like threes better, because there's no like, you beat it. You just go on and on and on and on until you lose.
No, I get that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I get that.
it's fun.
Okay, one of my top 5 games, and just I'm going to like preface this with, this is in no particular order, except the last one is my like game of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
The first one I'm going to have to say is Banner Saga, is actually it.
Oh.
It's super good. For those of you who don't know, you basically take this little troop around, if you will, like your caravan, and you make decisions on the way, and your decisions vary as far as like.
Oh, it's
life
Oregon
events.
Trail.
Actually, okay, it's like a fantasy Oregon Trail, but there's also combat in it, and it's like
Way more dysentery.
Yes.
You literally fight.
It's a lot more grueling.
It's like 90% of your deaths are dysentery. It's just
No, that's
it's brutal back
normal
there.
Oregon Trail.
That's just regular life. I mean, I have dysentery right now, but I think I'm gonna make it through.
I hope so.
I
But
have a bad
anyway,
case of scurvy as well, but I have oranges.
I don't even sit on a chair. This is a bucket.
Yeah, this is my office bucket. It's padded.
oh god. Anyways, and then there's a lot of
It's a good thing this mic is isolated right here.
Yeah, otherwise you'd just be hearing lots of just nasty, nasty things.
But anyways, back to the game.
Oh, hold on, my other bucket's here.
Anyways, back
That
to
was
the
an
game.
accident.
So there's also turn-based combat you get into. Like tactical turn-based combat.
Like Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Or Fire Emblem. And it's pretty cool. They set up this. Yes. We could go.
Yeah, there's a lot of turn-based. I'm like, I don't know if we want to get into this.
That has the same kind of combat style.
No, we're good. But then, yeah, it's just really fun. I love decision-based games, and this is a big one, especially because basically this game will be like, make this small decision, and you're like, okay, it's fine. And then way down the road, like further than you'd ever think, it's like, oh, remember that small decision you made? Everyone's dead.
You
And then
chose
you're
green instead of blue.
basically, and you're like, oh god, and then you're like so far like past it, you're like, I can't go back.
That's funny.
It's too much work. It's another playthrough. Like, and so
That's how they get you.
yeah,
That's how
and
they
then
get
so you go further with this decision that like just wrecked your life, basically, like crying further. What is this? Get out of here.
That was Banner Saga being sneaky. I'm on to you,
Yeah.
Banner Saga.
Okay, I'm on to you. Yeah, but then the art style in it is really good too, and I really enjoy it.
Sweet.
So yeah,
It's a really
yeah,
good
I'm
art
looking
style.
at screenshots right now. It's a pretty game.
yeah, it is. But anyways,
I guess it's
Andrew.
back to me.
Yep.
I'll tell you what a
Um,
pretty game is. Armello. Have you guys seen that?
No. How's that spelled?
Sounds
Arm ELLO.
not rabies. Leprosy.
It just released on early access, and it's basically like a board game, like a digital board game.
Oh,
But man,
really?
it looks beautiful.
Oh, dang, yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Great. Now I have to check it out.
Yeah, add it to my wish list. It looks so good. Anyways, go ahead with your list.
Like Scott, I'm not necessarily. Well, Borderlands is definitely number 5. But I guess next it deserves a mention, and I'll preface
Oh,
this. Maybe I've said this before on the podcast. I can't recall, but I have a really bad problem with finishing video games, like beating
Yeah,
them.
you're a hopper.
I definitely am. I'll dive 50 hours into a game and I'll be like, it's not done. This is gay. All right, moving on. And but with Shadow of Mordor, and that was a blast. Just it was part of the reason I loved it so much is because my roommate was really looking forward to it, and we bought it like the same day, and like I bought it for him and he paid me back, and we both had it preloaded and ready to go, and like we were just going ham bone on that. And I remember it was like 2 in the morning when I started playing because that's whenever it unlocked or whatever, and like the opening cinematic and like all the stuff you did, I was just like, this game is insane. It just grabbed me because it was the first like real next gen title I had on my PC because that was before I got my PS4, and I was just like, I was blown away, and just playing it and doing it. I mean, it got to where, oh yeah, okay, this is an open world, collect this, kill this, dominate this area, you know, and you kind of get used to those mechanics. But I just really, really enjoyed it.
How did you
all
feel
the
about the
story.
sneak kiss?
What?
How did you feel about the sneak kiss?
Sneak kiss?
Yeah, at the beginning in the tutorial, when you like sneak up behind your wife. And...
Oh, I thought that was a very funny way to introduce the sneak kill mechanic. It was
what? That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that.
Oh, you guys haven't heard about that?
no,
No.
I did. I mean, I
Oh,
played
yeah.
it.
There's a bunch of websites that basically said that it was bad that they did that. That it implied like it's fun to sneak up on women, and it was misogynist, and
What? That was
It-
his wife.
yeah, they're
You-
like you're relating a move that kills people the rest of the game with your wife. And
Well, I
Yeah,
look
she
at it
killed you
as
emotionally.
he'll never love again, and so he'll only kill. So
Yeah.
no more sneaky kisses, only
Yeah, his
sneaky
wife-
kills.
I think
Right,
that was
his
a
wife-
Polygon article.
It would be a Polygon article.
Pretty sure it's Polygon.
What a bunch of losers! Unless they want to feature us, then I love them.
I mean, don't quote me on that. Like, I don't want
Quoted. 2015.
quoted.
Confirmed.
Caleb hates Polygon.
But
anyways.
it was a lot of fun. I think the only downside to it was
Where the
Like-
fuck's my pitchfork? Tell you what.
we're gonna mob this city. But I think the only thing was really just the fact that you only upgraded like your like sword with runes and your weapons with runes, and like I was really hoping for a like loader loot system, but like because I played like Two Towers and Return of the King on the Game Boy Advance back in the day. Oh,
Wow.
It was like Diablo style play. So fun. I played those over and over and over and over and over, just through and through and through. And I was really hoping for that. But I know that I read or listened to something somewhere that was talking about like this is kind of like the thrust of loader games now. Like with Shadow of Mordor, like this is kind of the style that things are going in this universe is what I was reading somewhere. It was kind of like saying that Shadow of Mordor is like a good precursor to what we're going to see with this stuff, which would be really cool to see more stuff. You know, dead air.
All right.
No, that's not the right one.
Yeah, that's the right one.
I was trying to be funny.
It's a big picture of a cricket. How could you miss it?
Well, I was not looking at that particular icon, and I can only see one thing at a time because everything is a hallucination.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
My number 4 is South Park: Stick of Truth.
Oh, I want to play that so bad.
I mean, I guess it's not number 4. It could be anywhere in. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the same
Fun
thing as
fact.
Scott.
Also, my next one.
Really? I love South Park: Stick of Truth.
It's so good. It's like playing an episode.
Yeah, I mean, never has there been a licensed game besides like a Telltale where you feel like you're in the world. Like you
Oh,
really
yeah.
feel like you're part of the show, and like you're
Yeah.
watching yourself on TV. Like
I know.
it's so surreal.
And like I would say it's even more than any Telltale game, like you being in the world,
Yeah.
because like it literally looks exactly like it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Well, and it's even more than the show because, like, as a fan of the series, you never have seen the layout of the town.
exactly
I don't even think the
Yeah.
creators knew the layout of the town. They just
until
cut,
this. Yeah,
you know, and so now it like forced them to, oh, this is where they actually all live, and you know, it's just so cool.
yeah, and my character was constipated the whole time because I could not.
Yeah, he
I
could have
get so
pooped, saved his
close.
life.
I couldn't. I get so close. It made me so mad. So then I just turn all the showers on and leave
Yeah, you were literally as close as you could get to pooping
without pooping. Oh man! If you haven't played the game, it doesn't make any sense to you. Just play the game.
Yeah, like
I'm
every
waiting for it to go
turn.
on sale.
Yeah, every twist and turn, there's shout outs to the show.
Yeah.
It's such like a fan service, but it's so good. And
It was
So much
impressive.
fun.
So good.
well, and even more than that, even if it wasn't a South Park game, it was a good turn-based
Yeah.
RPG.
No, it's true, and they went very classical with like a slight twist, which was good.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's all around.
Did they have the thing where, like, if you hit the button at a certain time, it ups your attack?
Kind of, not
Like-
not always. It wasn't always
Right.
like that. Sometimes it was like holding it or like pressing A fast enough or whatever.
Or it was a
That's
guard
what I've always
sometimes.
loved about the Super Mario RPGs and yeah.
yeah, something like similar to that. Mhm.
Yeah, very similar.
But it'd be like letting your farts on fire.
The
Lighting your farts on
classes
fire.
were hilarious.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Jew.
yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, they have your classic classes, and then they throw Jew in there,
Yeah, it was hilarious.
which was That was like even the game itself was South Park. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I did a
and
lot of
even-
like, watching videos and researching it.
Well, and even how they refer to you is perfect for the movie, the show, because like you would name your character, but then Cartman's like, "We'll call you douchebag," and you're like, "That is something he would do," and there would
Yeah.
be a character for a whole episode that they would only call him douchebag. So like when they were
You
like,
should have named your character douchebag.
well, that would have been hilarious. But
That's
so
really
the whole
smart.
time- yeah, it is. And so the whole time they called you douchebag, it wasn't even like you were like, okay, you're just trying to fit in this name. It like felt like it was still a part of the episode because you're like, this would happen in an actual episode.
Yeah, yeah, it felt authentic, but it was also so that they could have the actual voice acting
Oh
instead
yeah,
of just, hey, player
You.
one.
yeah. Hey, you. No, so
Alright.
it was great.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Andrew, it's your turn since we both had the same one.
Twinsies. I'd say the next one would be Mario Kart 8. I played that so much. I haven't played in a minute, but what I loved about it is that it really like was a throwback to like split screen co-op days. Just because I mean, I did a lot of online play too, but I mean, my roommate and I had a rivalry. Like I would get mad because he was better than me, and I was like, I bought the game. I played it so much more than you. Why are you better than me? It just made me so frustrated. Like every couch co-op game in history, whenever someone is better than you and you own the game, or
Yeah,
you're better than
turn
them
off
and
the
they own it.
system.
yeah.
Huh?
That game.
When you own the game and they're better than you, you turn off the system.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not playing with you guys anymore.
Real quick, my sister choked a girl out because she did that to her one time. Not even. Yeah, no, I'm not even kidding. They were playing this racing game, and it was like a game they owned, and her friend was a real bee, and she always was like, I can beat this game, beat you, blah, 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 blah. And then they're about to cross the finish line, and my sister was about to beat her, and it was like I think it was a PlayStation, or maybe it was a GameCube, and she just leans up and is like, power. And my sister, there's a pause, and my sister's like, and then turns and just goes, "Ah!"
That's too
And it
good.
starts like choking her out, and she's like,
I don't blame her.
yeah, no, it was hilarious. And like afterwards, like my mom was like, Jillian, blah 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 blah, and I was just like, you did what was good, kid. You defended yourself. They do it every time. But yeah,
Did what
it was
had to be
hilarious.
done.
Exactly.
You know.
pulled the trigger.
Exactly.
That's too good.
You're too good.
I tried.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And they've released like the DLC packs and stuff, and I haven't gotten them. I did get like the free one with like the weird Mercedes carts that they added.
That's
like,
hilarious.
You were literally
to me.
driving around in like 3 different series of Mercedes,
I know.
and like the 8 colors of Yoshi that you could unlock.
I know.
It's like we got the whole fam. But it was a lot of fun. I mean,
that Mercedes DLC was so funny because it's like so over the top, sponsorship.
Yes.
That it's just like if you called Nintendo on it, I feel like they'd be like, "Oh, we don't care about sponsors. Do you want to drink a Pepsi?" Like, I'm just sitting here enjoying delicious Pepsis. Like it's just so good. I love it.
I think they'd just be like, yes, it was sponsorship.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Are you kidding? Did you not get that?
Pretty
And/or
clear.
And/or would you like to try a Snapple because they
But
are
see-
not a direct competitor?
It doesn't make sense to me though, because it's like, are the kids convincing their parents to get Mercedes? Like, what are they achieving?
They know their audience. They
I
know
guess.
It's like, they know
We
it's
got to lock them in soon, you guys.
Well, they know it's 50% children.
These are gonna be the Mercedes drivers of the future.
You'd be surprised at how many like advertising campaigns are like, "We're gonna get them in 10 years, boys."
I guess.
It's like cigarettes.
Like
Joe
they're
Camel.
not gonna get hit with a million other car commercials in that 10-year period.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they're
they're probably
look
gonna play
back
more
at
Mario
them
Kart.
winning.
Yeah, I
At
guess.
Mario
I
Kart
guess
was
you
insane.
compare it to Mario. Yeah.
Ah!
All right.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's so good. It was what got me to buy my Wii U, and I played that game the most out of all the
Zel-
games on my Wii U.
Zelda Wii U is what, like, confirmation of that is what got me to buy my Wii U.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you knew it was
that
coming.
was happening, but when they told me it was coming, I knew it was gonna come in like 2 years or whatever. So I was like,
Right.
might as well get it now.
Just to make sure I have it. Hope it doesn't break before then.
That's funny.
My systems usually last me like a gangster minute, though. My brother is still playing my OG Xbox
Yeah, I've never had a console crash
Wow.
out on me.
and Xbox 360.
Yeah, I've never had one die either. I'm a blessed man.
People that go through consoles, I'm like, what are you doing to it?
I know.
Because
Well,
I'm not
'cause
even like super nice to
Gentle.
my consoles.
Mm.
Like I'm fairly rough with them.
I punch
So-
them just to test it out. Like I unbox, like I'll do an unboxing video. And I'll be like, "Whoa, pop!"
Doesn't work. Take it back.
Oh my god.
That's how you test them. Okay, so I guess my next game would be, let's go Shovel Knight. I like
Oh.
Shovel Knight a lot. Have any of you
My-
guys played that?
Is that a
No,
roguelike game?
No.
No. It's like classic platformer.
Yeah,
Like
Kay and I are
Metroidvania?
definitely not into roguelikes.
Yeah. No, I don't like roguelikes at all.
Do you have Shovel Knight on your Steam?
Cody does. So yeah, I do.
Oh man, I don't have Cody on mine. I should get Cody on mine.
Yeah.
No, I've been wanting to play it. Yeah, I'm guessing it would be on my list because it's very like Mega Man-y, if you will.
Oh, it's Super Mega Man-y.
And I
That
love
would be my closest comparison.
and I love Mega Man, and I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's the mechanics are so tight, and it's such a homage to old games. But the thing about Shovel Knight that I love more than other like retro style games is other retro games have all of what you loved about old games, but then all of what you hated about them. And it's like
Right.
Shovel Knight only kept the good things.
That's
And
good.
it's like it lets you play like the rose tinted glasses versions of these older platformers instead of what they actually were and the actual huge annoyances from them.
yeah.
It's not a difficult game, but it has enough challenge where if you were a kid playing it, I think it would take you a gangster minute, and it's enough of a challenge as an adult where You can feel good about yourself, but it's not overly difficult at all.
Yeah, and I know unlocking everything is a little
Yeah,
bit challenging.
there's tons of hidden things. The music is fantastic. I think they even like re-recorded lots of old noises from earlier platforms and stuff. Like there's times in the games where you're like, that noise, I know that noise from yada yada or something. Or it's very similar.
I love Yada Yada. Such a
Yeah.
good game.
That would be a great game name.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, in all seriousness, yada
Yada
yada,
yada.
especially an old game. Shoot.
Pretty sure I've seen that on Greenlight. Yada yada.
Yeah, but
Uh.
I'm pretty sure like poop simulators on there too. So
Yeah. Yo Gabba Gabba. That's what that reminds me of.
it's true.
Um, Yeah, no, I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff. It can be as deep or as light as you want it to be. And, like, there's... I think it was 9 bosses that are, like, traditional bosses. But there's, like, 3 or 4 hidden bosses as well.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
And I heard at least one of the 3 is like actually pretty darn challenging.
Yeah, I mean, the farther you get, it gets... I wouldn't say, like, brutal difficulty, but it's... yeah, I mean, it's more old-school difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah, old school games were funny because they were like, yeah, this game's $80. Ah, crap, we can't just sell like 10 minutes of game. How are we gonna do
Yeah.
it? Let's make it impossibly hard. Then it's a 30-hour game because
Yeah.
they just can't beat it.
Yeah, well, old games were, like, more about memorization.
No, exactly. And they were like, we'll just throw impossible. You know that game Simon Says? Just make it like crazy hard
No health, just like one-hit deaths. Just
and have
terrible.
bullets flying like this.
I'll tell you what the hardest game was in the world. The old Lion King game. Did you ever play
What's
that?
that? What's this
so
one?
hard.
It was so ridiculously hard.
It
Was that for Nintendo?
I actually want to say it's Sega Genesis.
Probably. You
Yeah.
also
Every game on Sega Genesis was hard.
no. You
Yeah.
know what else was in like the same vein and also difficult? Partially just because of like bad handling.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, Sega
but
Genesis.
the Aladdin game too.
Oh
I
my
didn't
god,
play that.
Genesis.
Super Nintendo?
And yeah, and Genesis.
I played that game so much. It
Yeah, but it
pissed
was
me off
hard.
so much.
It was hard.
Yeah, that game. There's like a scene where you have to like swing from these ropes, or a level, I guess you should say, not scene. But it's like impossible. You have to like time the jumps right. Man. Anyways,
You want to hear the funniest story about that Aladdin game that has happened to me?
This better be the funniest one because I've heard at least 14 stories about it.
Okay, because of that game is how I found out what homosexuality was.
What?
Yeah, okay. I was playing with a bunch of friends. There was an older friend that was there, like a friend of a friend. He was like 4 years older than us or whatever. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Anyway,
so we just
this-
started experimenting on each other. And
No. No.
He said, "Do you want to play with my Abu?" And I was like, "What do you mean?"
No, anyways, long story short, it led into a conversation about Sonic, and then he was like, Tails is gay. And I was like, what's gay? And, and then he was like, it means that you like putting your penis in buttholes. And then I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what, like, you're serious that Tails is? And he's like, yeah, Tails
Tails was a girl.
Tails is a boy, but he's not gay. And like he went gay.
I always thought Tails was like a little boy, like he was just a young boy.
Yeah, he is. That's why he's supposed to be a young
Okay.
boy. He gave me this huge story about basically how like Tails is gay and like how Sonic has gay sex with Tails.
But that does ask the question, like, why is Sonic hanging out with young children?
I don't know. Why does
It's a
Batman
door.
have a like 12-year-old sidekick?
He's not 12.
Okay, 14. Whatever. Batman's like 48.
He has to groom him.
Oh yeah, he does. I just say same
Put these
question.
tights on, boy. I gotta groom you to be a superhero. My Batcave.
No, all I'm saying is, every superhero basically is like, why are you hanging out with young kids? It's like, cuz.
Gets lonely in the Batcave.
Basically. Anyways,
No, the actual reality of that is that every single superhero that has a young sidekick is impotent. So this is their way of like having a child.
Ah.
no, anyways,
The
back
eagle
to
did not land on that one.
back to, back to Vinci games.
All of our impotent listeners are very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your next game, Scott?
My next game is Destiny. I know it has its problems, especially once you get past level 20. But I still really enjoy the game, and I never saw that big of a difference with my more powerful weapons. Like I did with some of them, obviously, but like people were like, you always have to like upgrade your gun for like just that little bit more light, and I do get that. But I never saw a huge boost from like when it was literally just like a few points. So I was just always like, I'll just keep my crappy gun until I find one that's like worth switching. But I mainly did PvP. So
Right. See, that's where it doesn't matter.
yeah, exactly. So and I love their PvP. Like it reminded me of like the fun I had with like old.
Yeah.
And I think the game itself is really well made. There's just some problems that held it back, and it's probably some publisher issues trying to milk more money from it type of deal. But still a fun game. You know what I mean? Like
Have you
yeah, it
played
could
the
be better,
expansion?
but it's still fun. No, I haven't played it yet. I've been busy.
Yeah, don't play the expansion. Wait till the new expansion comes out and then play it.
Why did it make it worse?
Yeah, it's. I don't know. For you, what level are you? Are you like 25? Or what?
Something like that.
See, for you, it probably won't matter then. And see, that's why I think a lot of your complaints about the game probably don't matter.
Yeah, when it's like, I know when you get closer to levels, it's more like...
it's like impossible to get to level 30. It's so hard. Oh, okay. If
That's
you
so
play...
weird because my roommate has been playing it for like a week and a half, and he's level 30.
That he got really lucky.
He got so lucky. Like, I walked in, I was like, he was level 29. I was like, how did you... You've been playing a week?
Yeah, he must have got really lucky.
Well,
no, okay.
I'm telling you, that's all he does.
Here's the thing. Well, now I guess it's fairly easy to get to level 30 because you can buy vendor gear. But what they did with the new expansion is before the only way to get to level 30 was one set of armor that was like the raid set of armor.
Yeah.
And the only way to get it was you had to play the raid until you just got lucky enough to get every piece. And the pieces that you get, they might not be the right piece of equipment you need, and they might not even be for your class. So it sucks. And then people who grinded it and did the raid like 20 times or however many times it took them, minimum of 4, I guess, if you got really lucky. And they got to level 30 and they got the best gear in the game. When they did the new expansion, now the vendor sells equipment that's just as good as your raid gear.
That's
or better.
hilarious.
That's really stupid. Like even like the special effects on the gear?
I'm sure the special effects aren't as good, but
Your
the
rank,
base,
though.
yeah, the base stats are better.
That's just why.
Yeah. So it basically like screwed everyone who was like their most hardcore players, and it appeased the Scots that have just been sitting around 25, and they're like, oh, well, now I can be 30. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to like get people into the game and feel like they're not left behind.
But in theory, they should have been like a lesser 30.
Right. Or
Or
they
at
should have
least,
just
like, introduce
upgraded the raid
raid
gear to make it the best
Like
again.
30.
Or up to
31
level
or
cap or something.
Well, and another thing I don't like about Destiny is that there's only one set of armor if you want to be the highest level you can be.
Yeah.
It's not like other MMOs where there's once you reach 70, that's when you can actually start worrying about armor. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
it's like you're very. You just have to like okay, so the percentages not only can it not be in your class, not only can it be not the right gear that you need, then you just have to take whatever stats it gives you. Like even you can't even decide your build and stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's very. I just feel like they have a really, really, really awesome 20 to 30 hour game, and they want to make it like an endless game, and so they just make you suffer. And that's what I don't like about it. I wish that it wasn't an MMO. I wish that they just made it like a Halo, but
Yeah.
a Halo RPG, and that you
Yeah.
could just collect,
Play with your friends, and that's it.
yeah, and like you could still go online and do missions and stuff with your friends, but just I don't know, I just that's what I wish. But
I follow you, dude.
they say they're going to
also-
correct all that stuff in the new expansion, though. So that's what I'm saying. Wait till the new expansion and then get into it.
I also am in the camp, which I know I'm in the vast minority, that is like, oh, that's the only gear that can get me to 30? But the gear that gets me at 29 looks cooler.
Yeah, see, I'm
Looks
that
like
camp
I'm gonna
too.
stay at 29.
Right.
But I know I'm in
Well,
the
no,
vast
that's.
minority.
I don't think you're in a very big minority for that because, like MMOs, half of the draw of those games is aesthetics, is
Yeah.
how you look.
Yeah.
It's like it really is.
But
As
other
an avid MMOer, I'm very aware.
other MMOs give you ways to customize your appearance, though, where Destiny has almost nothing. I mean, you have your shaders, but you can't even shade your weapons. And
Are they going to
things.
fix
It's
that with
just
the new expansion?
Hopefully.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but right now they're focused on like level stuff. But anyways, it's on my list though because I just genuinely had fun with it.
Oh, one small little thing, and then we can get off Destiny. They just launched the hard mode of the new raid, and it's level 33 is what the raid is on. The max level you can get is 32.
So they're just like,
You're under
Good
leveled
luck.
for the raid. There's nothing you can do about it.
that's hilarious. So they're like, good luck.
So they did raise the level cap.
Yeah, by 2. It's
Yeah,
so
wow.
weird. Oh, max level 32. I feel like if I told people that they didn't know about Destiny, they're like, yeah, that's not the max. Who would make a max 32?
Stop lying to me.
Yeah. I don't know. Very fun game, though.
Okay, Andrew, what's your next game?
Yeah, Andrew.
My second favorite game of 2014. Well, I played the majority of it in 2015, but Super Smash Bros. They
Oh.
delivered, yeah, the new Super Smash Bros. Wii U. They delivered so well. It's fantastic. I literally asked for Christmas for my mom for Wii U Pro controllers. Got 3 of those. So like, and then another buddy of mine after he played with me was like, "I'm buying a Wii U," and he bought a Wii U and 4 of those Pro controllers, and like we 8-man it, and it's a blast. It's fantastically executed. A lot of the stuff from previous games they've tried to like fix in terms of like balancing and stuff. I mean, there's still characters that if you know what you're doing, you can just biddy slam everybody. But I always love that about Super Smash Bros. Like you find your character and you just go nuts with them.
Who do you
And
main?
it's different than like say Street Fighter 4 or something like that in the sense that it's just so much fun. It's so much fun, and they introduced a lot of fun game modes and like they said when they were announcing it, like you're going to be able to use your Miis, and they actually made a really good system for creating fighters from your Miis. Like my favorite character to play with is half the time is my Mii gunner, because I just homing rockets and machine guns, and it's just so much fun. They did really well.
I really like a virtual personification of myself when I'm just killing people.
Who doesn't?
So who do you main in that, Andrew?
Well, there's my Mii, and then I really, really enjoy Zero Suit Samus a lot because her her over B is like this like electric whip that'll stun people, and her just regular B shot it only goes like a certain distance. Like when you're Samus in armor, you can charge up and shoot across the map and stuff, and I like that. I like that Samus too, but she's a blast, and she's really acrobatic. Ganondorf is pretty sweet. I'm trying to think, because I haven't played with everyone. I've played with a good chunk of them. Mega Man is really good too. I really like Mega Man because he's so quick. And whenever I'm playing people that are really good, a lot of times I'll pop on Meta Knight. Meta Knight was banned from the previous Super Smash Bros. Like tournament stuff because he was so overpowered. Like you could not play as Meta Knight in anything, and but he's still just a blast to play as because there's a lot more characters that are kind of equal to him.
Yeah, there's not anyone that's banned yet in the new one, right?
Right.
Not in the new. I don't know about the new. I haven't really looked into the competitive scene for the new one.
Not
It
yet.
seems like there's enough people where if you know what your opponent's choosing, you can find someone to counter him.
A lot of times, yeah.
So,
But I mean, and I always like to go back and troll with Yoshi or Kirby. They're just too much fun. Like suck somebody in as Kirby and then jump off a cliff.
That's the best. I love doing that.
Well, the worst thing I do with Kirby is like because you can fly forever with him, like way longer than other people. And I'll just get up there and like wait till there's a fight happening beneath me, and then down B and just brick slam everything.
yep.
It's the best.
See, my classic Smash characters are Pikachu and Donkey Kong. Scott will
Pikachu's
tell you,
dope in this
I'm
one.
surprisingly good with Donkey Kong. I don't know anyone who's
He
as
really-
good. I don't know anyone who's actually good with him besides me. And I'm not saying I'm a great Smash player, but
No, it's true. When he first started playing Donkey Kong, I was like, "Hey," and then I was like, "Whoa, wow, you're actually doing stuff."
yeah.
Donkey Kong is dope.
But I feel like if I played this new game, I would have to give Duck Hunt Dog a try and Charizard. And I would
They
try to-
released so many weird characters. Like
Yeah.
the villager, you just run around dropping fire hydrants, and you can shoot this like weird
Why not,
rocket that you can jump on and ride across the map.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is awesome. Everything about Super Smash Bros. is
My
a delightful
favorite
treat.
new character, actually, I enjoy playing her. I'm not the best with her yet, and like I can't control her the best, but is Rosalina
Oh, okay.
with the
Alright.
little.
I
star
do
person.
like Peach.
I like nectarines.
Who doesn't, though?
and Monster and
Just juicy.
it's funny. Okay, what about you? What's your next game?
Child of Light.
Oh,
Oh.
really?
For me.
That's
Yeah.
not surprising.
I have it on my Wii U. I just haven't played it.
Yeah, I really love Child of Light.
It's
I'm a lot
fun.
bigger on it than Scott is. I don't know why, because it's amazing. But,
But that's everything.
I mean, it's fun.
no, I think I just connected with the or the fairy tale aspect of it.
Oh, that's good.
I can understand why some people might not like the rhyming as
Oh,
much.
I love the rhyming. That was fun.
I thought it was witty and funny and different than a lot of other stories that are being told. The artwork is unbelievable. It's one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. Everything looks like a watercolor.
Yeah.
It's very what's the game I'm looking for? It's kind of like some Atlas games where everything's hand drawn, and the turn-based, like sort of turn-based game has such a twist to it where it keeps it fun instead of just like a Pokemon style where it's still fun, but it's a back and forth. The Child of Light always keeps you on your toes because you're trying to line up your move to block the other people. I don't know if you've played it yet, Andrew. You said you haven't?
No, I mean, I played a little bit of it.
Yeah, so you know how like you can interrupt people's attacks and stuff, and it's almost more about interrupting their attack than it is dishing out tons of damage. Yeah, it's just really cool, and they have a mechanic that I like that I wish kind of more games went to, and it's like it's called the plus system. So if you beat the game, you can start a new campaign, but instead of like just starting over from scratch, you are at your same level, and you can even go to higher levels and complete, because they make it so that the base game you can't max out, all of your trees. You can only max out one tree. And so when you play again, you'll still be level 35 or 40 or whatever you were.
I like that. That's good.
And you can keep playing, and then you can max out a whole new tree and stuff. And all the enemies are now level 35 and everything. But you can do it in any. You can still choose easy, normal, or hard.
Gotcha.
So I think that's fun, and especially for a game like that where it only takes. I think it took me and Scott like 14 hours to play or something, and we did everything. Like, we didn't skimp. So,
right.
Yeah, that game is it's simple, and I think it's a good game for people to get into RPGs too, because you level really quickly, and it really feels like you're in charge, and it also kind of gets people into turn-based and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Well, and you can't beat the price. I mean, you're paying $1 per hour of gameplay, so.
Right. That's not bad.
It's a better deal than the
Scott, what about
moving
you?
pictures.
Yeah.
My next game is actually Choice of Robots. Yep. It was released in December of this year, and some people may argue that it's not like a true game. I say shenanigans, and
I know you're calling shenanigans on.
They're words. And
Shenanigans, you won't say that again.
but anyways, no, it's a great game though. It's also, I think, the best out of the Choice of games that I've played so far, at least. It has so many branching arcs that, like, me and someone else, chances are, don't have the same play experience. But there's even people that can have a different outcome in, like, every single way.
That's crazy.
Which, like a lot of the Choice of games, have several, like, branching arcs or whatever. But a lot of them are relatively linear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like some, like it affects what happens, but not in this one. It can be like everything is different for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just awesome. Like, it has crazy good replay value, and it made me feel the feels at one or 2 points. I was like,
It's good to feel the feels.
Yeah, and it's really good, and it's probably the best of the Choice Up games. Anywho, what about you, Andrew?
All right, we're down to my number one game of Biddy Slamming.
Woo! Drum roll.
Dark Souls 2.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge Dark Souls just nut, if anyone knows. And when I found, it was a year ago, it was Thanksgiving of 2013, I played Dark Souls 1, and I was within the first 2 hours was like, this has become one of my top 5 games. I just had no idea what it was like. And then Dark Souls 2 came out, and they just delivered more of what you wanted. I'm actually pretty excited because they're going to take Dark Souls 2 with all the DLC, which, funnily, I love Dark Souls 2, but didn't realize they'd released DLC until, like, way after it had all been released. And they're going to take it all, package it together, do an HD remaster, and put it on PS4 and Xbox One, and I'm probably going to pick that junk up. It consumes you. It's so much fun.
It consumes you.
It consumes you. You just want to beat it. You just, it's so hard. The only thing is, I think it's because I played 1 so much. Dark Souls 2 didn't feel as hard as 1 did.
Yeah.
But that's because, that's what I love about the Dark Souls combat, is that it is not, like, yes, you level up, yes, you get more powerful, getting better weapons helps for sure, but it all comes down to the majority of combat comes down to your skill level. If you suck at the Dark Souls combat schema, you suck at Dark Souls. That's just how it works. You got to know how to parry, you got to know how to dodge and attack, and it's all about that. And it's so much fun.
Yeah, I heard that this game was slightly more accessible. I guess would be the
Yeah, a
word.
little bit. Yeah, because they introduced, like, in the first game, it takes you like half the game to get to where you can travel between bonfires you've unlocked, and even
Yeah.
then you can't go to every bonfire, and you get that right out the gate in Dark Souls 2.
Oh, that's good.
It is good for those that want that, for sure.
For those who want that.
That, whenever we get to talk about our, what do you call it, our favorite games that we're looking forward to, there's a game that is like a newer take on that. It's made by the director of Dark Souls 1 and 2, and I'm really, really excited about it.
I've heard about it. And then Kay and I think we should tag team this next one because I'm pretty sure it's the same game.
All right.
So, drum roll. Dragon Age 2.
Yeah. Well,
3.
Dragon Age 3.
2!
Actually,
Welcome to
Dragon Age
2010.
Inquisition. So,
It's 3.
yeah.
That game was gonna be on my list, but I replaced it with something else.
What? It's okay, heathen.
Hey,
No, that
Okay,
game.
I mean, some people know.
That game for me is my number one. First off, because it's my favorite franchise, and I'm so invested in the lore and the world of Thetis. I love 3 because it's everything that I love about the first 2 games, and everything that I've always wanted the series to do come together. Now, there's still some things now that I even want more. I'm not saying it's like the perfect game, but there's so much to do. No matter where you go, there's always something to collect or a quest to do, or like you're never bored. Like there's never a time where you're just running from place to place. There's always something that you could be doing if you wanted to. And some people will probably say that's too much and it's like a lot of filler. My kind of theory on that is you don't have to do it. Like, I mean, a lot of it is if you really just wanted to go through the main story, you know, you could just level up enough doing the main story. You don't really need to grind. If you want to go out and explore and 100% everything, it's going to take you at least 100 hours. Maybe like 150, I don't know. It took me like 90 to beat the main game and then do like half of the collectible stuff.
Yeah.
So,
took you 100 hours?
like 90.
Oh.
I think it came to 92 once I finally beat Corypheus, and I kind of set it down.
Yeah.
But there's so many little things like every quest. Well, not every quest, I guess I should say, but there's tons of things that seem insignificant, and then it changes how your party reacts to you, or how your castle looks. And it just feels like you're actually part of Thetis, more so than any game I've
Feels like a
played.
game.
No, it's true. And like, I love BioWare in general. They're my favorite company, and I love their games. And Dragon Age is one of my favorite franchises. Dragon Age, Mass Effect are my 2 favorite. But I had to give this game number 1 because it's the first game ever to make me be like, all right, I'll do this fetch quest.
Yeah.
Because whenever a fetch quest was like a side quest, I'd be like, looks like I'm never touching this quest again. But this one is like, hey, do the fetch quest, and guess what? Your courtyard's gonna look awesome. And I was like, fine. So it even made, like, for me, it's the first game that made the grind really feel worth it. Because, like, even other games, like, if we go, like, old school RPGs or whatever, you'd grind, and then, like, it's to beat this one guy, and then you barely beat him. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, that grind was barely worth it. You know? And this one, it's like, oh, here's the little grind, or here's, like, the little fetch quest, you know, little grind thing, like, kill 10 animals, you get these things, and it's like, and now look at your courtyard! And you're like, woo! And, every, like, it has all these side things, but every mission feels like it has a purpose in some way. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now, whether you care about what its purpose is, you know, its own
The
thing.
test.
Well, see, like
Yeah.
other RPGs, your hero he's just kind of helping people, even though there's a bigger problem. Like it feels odd.
No,
And
it's true.
I guess you could still say that about the Inquisition, that a lot of these things are beneath him. But everything you do is to promote the Inquisition
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to
And
enlist
you still
people.
feel that urgency. Like they
It's-
do
yeah.
really well storytelling wise.
It's
Right.
true, and like, it's the closest thing I've come to playing a perfect game in a long time. At least that's why I would say. And like you said, it still has its problems. Like for me, they would keep telling me how big my army was, but I was like, I feel like it's like my main party and 10 other people. But they're like, but man, have you seen our army? We could go to like war with nations. I'm like, really? You know?
Well, I think a lot of it was also our connections that we made.
No,
like
it's true.
Like we had what's his face's army, but they weren't actually at the stronghold.
Yeah, no, I just wish they would have showed like a campsite outside of it or something. You know what I
Right.
mean? Where like it was more, it felt like you had an army. And don't get me wrong, like there's some parts where your army fights and you're like, oh wow, I do have an army. Look at that. But and there's just some little things, but that's the only thing that keeps it from being a perfect. Just little things like that. And then Morgan's in it, and she's hot as ever.
Yeah,
And-
she's hot as all get out.
Yeah, and she, I had it, so, spoiler alerts, by the way, but if you haven't played it by now, shame on you. You deserve this. I had Morgan, you know, like, be my love interest, as the, like, Grey Warden, and then I had it last into, like, the DLC, and then, like, them go through the portal together and all that stuff. So seeing the like relationship I started in the first game, and then her talk about like the Grey Warden and like how they're so in love and stuff, made me be like, oh, and it was just great, like the continuations of everything.
Did you give your main character a love interest?
Like
Yeah, he loved
my guy?
Josephine.
yeah, Josephine was my lady,
Mm,
and
yeah.
okay, that's also another thing for me. What kept it from being a perfect game? Josephine has no like love scene. And I'm not saying that as in like, oh man, no sex scene. There was no scene that like truly cemented the romance, in my opinion. Because like BioWare,
Yeah, he
has
just kind of
trained-
made out.
Yeah, no, BioWare has trained me that like basically, if
Sex
you will,
equals love.
yeah, exactly. It has.
Yeah.
It's trained me
America.
to that. It has trained me to that. Like basically, the marriage that you get out of BioWare games is the sex scene. You know
That's
what I
fu-
mean?
that's
Or
so
whatever. Like that's the ultimate commitment in those games. And so like not having it made me be like, are we even dating? Like like I don't want to sound like that guy, but like because of what BioWare games make all other love interests, including in the game, Josephine's the only one that only has a makeout scene.
Right.
Like the other ones at least have an implied sex scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's like
Yeah, you can double Kunari that business. It's disgusting.
Mhm.
no, but
Which I totally did, and then reverted to my old save just to see if it was possible.
That's so funny. No, but in all seriousness, I was just like, I wish that like they would have at least given me a marriage scene or something. You know what I mean? To like truly show like this like relationship cemented. Because I was like,
No, it's just kind of like you have a permanent girlfriend.
no, exactly. It's like I've kissed everyone. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I can kiss anyone whenever I want.
Yeah.
Morgan kissed me, and you didn't even have to have a love interest in the first game. You could just kiss
Yeah.
her. You just had to be like, "Hey, I want to kiss you." She's like, "Okay." Like, you know what I mean? BioWare games have trained me that sex equals love and
Right.
kisses mean nothing.
Yeah. I have to tell Andrew about all my love interests.
Oh, he slept with everyone.
Okay, so
You could get away. I thought people would hate you.
No, you
No.
can sleep with them, but you can. You have to.
you have to break up with him.
Yeah, and then they don't hate you most of the time. They
Nah,
can't affect.
actually, none of them did.
Well, not hate you, but that does
That's
affect your
what you
relationship.
do.
I guess not for me. But
I mean, I just don't think you care about people enough to notice.
no, I mean they all still liked me. Like everyone that I was in a relationship still
Well,
liked
you
me.
also didn't take it to like its furthest extent. You did like first love scene and then broke it off.
Yeah, pretty much for everybody.
Yeah, he didn't go through like the whole love.
No, I don't think you can. Like it cements you after you do that.
Oh, does it? You can't like break
Yeah,
up.
like if you go to like the final romance scene, you can't break up then. I'm pretty
See?
sure.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They teach me.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on with your.
So, anyways,
with your whoring ways.
yeah. So, I was romancing Josephine, right? And then they have this scene where Liliana comes up to you and basically says, "Hey, Josephine's really fragile.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, don't hurt her or anything." And I basically was like, "I would never leave Josephine. I love her." And immediately I go and make out with Josephine, and we're in a relationship. And then I'm like, "Yeah, this isn't working out." Break up with her. Then I go and help
Spoiler alert,
Dorian.
after Kay killed Corypheus, Liliana stabbed him in the back.
Well, probably. What's his face? Oh, I helped Dorian out with his dad. Well, I didn't really help him. I just showed him his dad. And then they got in a fight, and he's like, "I want to go." And then we left, and then he starts making out with me, and I was like, "All right, I guess I'll roll with this." And so then we got in a relationship, and then I was like, "Yeah, it's not working out." He was probably the only one that was like really pissed about breaking up, because he was like,
Josephine is like, it's my fault. I'm sorry.
yeah, she like totally blames herself. She's like, I didn't want to work out with the Inquisitor, blah, 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 whatever. Oh, and funny thing about Josephine is later there's a scene where you can dance with Josephine, and Scott got so mad at me because he had that scene with her, and it was like this really sweet, like they were dating and like romantic scene. And this was even after I broke up with Josephine, but I still had that scene with her. Or like I danced with her at the banquet, and she was just like, "This is such a great night," and I was like, "I know, baby." So yeah, then I broke up with Dorian, and he was all like, "Oh, of course you couldn't be with someone from Deventer, a gay man from Deventer. Of course it couldn't work out, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, it has nothing to do with that. It just like need other tail." And so
Anyway.
Need other tail. Oh, God.
this is not me. This is my Inquisitor, obviously. Okay. So then I go to Iron Bull, right? And totally different than me and Dorian, because I was the aggressor with Dorian, and then Iron Bull was totally the aggressor with me. And I was just like, "Take me already, Bull." And but his whole thing is that all you have to say is like this one word, and then it's off, and he doesn't ask any questions. So he's probably the easiest breakup.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't look at it. He doesn't. He's like he just yeah. I know what you're talking about. There's a
Funny-
Star Trek reference there. I can't find it.
Fun fact, though.
You talking about Vulcans?
No, like there's an episode where like it's just like the Kunari, like sex isn't important,
Yeah.
and you can just diddle around as much as you want. Oh no, I'm thinking of Name of the Wind, Wise Man's Fear, the books by Patrick Rothfuss.
Okay.
Anyway, go on. I just
Fun
nerded
fact,
out.
though. I don't know what the prerequisites are, but there is a way, and it happened to me, where if you don't romance Dorian or Iron Bull, they end up together, the two of them.
Oh.
Yeah, and they move in together. So then I moved on to my
gosh.
actual. And then I move into my.
Game.
Yeah, did it? Okay, so my happened.
I think
As-
it happened. No, I think it happens if you have them in your party a lot and they banter.
Oh, okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, 'cause they're my
I never have him because I'm already a Kunari two-hander, and I don't need
Oh.
Iron Bull backing me
That
up.
would be hilarious.
That would have been so funny. Just a couple brute Canary going at it.
Just do all warriors, no mages ever.
Yeah. And then I romanced Cassandra, which at the beginning of the game I hated.
She's the best.
And she did a total reversal on me. Like, she's by far my favorite character now.
In my opinion, she's the second best written character that they've had in the games. Morgan's the first, in my opinion, and then it's her.
Well, Cassandra's fantastic because at first you think she's going to be this kind of like surface level, just super holy type person. But then she doesn't do like what everyone thinks is right. She does what she thinks is right. And
Which
I think
is
that's
basically how I play the game.
yeah, which is such a great character design because she has morals, but it's not just she aligns with the morals of the Chantry. It's she has her own code, and she expects other people to follow her own code. But she's also very vulnerable later on in the game when you romance her and stuff, because you find out she likes these smutty novels written by Varric. Yeah,
It's one of the best scenes in the game.
And she's just so goofy. And once you
Can
get to
you
know
romance
her,
Varric? I never explored that.
No,
Varric loves Bianca.
Bianca, not his beau.
Yeah, I know.
The other dwarf. Okay, I was like, speaking of dwarfs, makes me so mad you can't romance that scout dwarf.
Yeah,
it'd be so easy.
it would be so
the
easy.
one that you can banter with and say love things to, but it never fulfills.
And once they give me Josephine, the girl I can only make out with, all they need to add is 2 more scenes, and it's as good as a love thing with Josephine.
Yeah,
also,
it really is.
Also, it's very racist not to have a dwarf love
Yeah,
interest
there's
at all.
no dwarf love interest
At
I was
all.
like, man, what's
And
up
then
with
like
that?
half the love interest won't even have a love interest with a dwarf.
Yeah, you can't.
Very racist.
Yeah, I don't care. For it.
BioWare.
Well, it's
totally
been like an hour and 20 minutes.
so. No, I'm
I
just
don't
kidding.
say that because it's a test podcast.
No, I know, and I have to go to class in just a second. But real quick, BioWare, totally on top of it with LGBT rights, not with racism.
Which is really ironic considering.
I know, they're skipping a step. They're
Yeah.
skipping a step. And I'm glad they did their thing.
I wouldn't say they're on top of it. Just
No.
they're at the front of modern thought.
Exactly. But real quick, I hope everyone becomes bi in the future games. Like, they did their thing about having, like, very specifics. In the future, let's just make everyone bi again.
It's not gonna happen that way.
I know, but that's what I want so badly.
Hey, what
Yeah.
dreams may come, dude.
Yeah. But anyways, okay.
I want everyone to be asexual and reproduce by splitting themselves in half.
I don't like that at all. Half my enjoyment is through love interest.
Yeah.
Love yourself.
It's too dark.
He does that before he goes to bed, right after.
right after my Josephine makeout scene.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so mad. That's all I have.
God, this makes me so mad.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I'm Scott.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Andrew.
We'll see you next time when this is real.